friends. My name is Sarah Fithian, and I'm a kindergarten teacher at Hebron Elementary, and I am so excited to be on this journey with you this summer. I love math, and I love summer, so this is going to be awesome. Now, before we jump into today's math lesson, I like to do a little bit of breathing to calm myself down and get focused and ready to learn. So today I'm going to show you something a little silly because it's a lot warmer outside now, but I really love this technique. So I am going to show you some hot chocolate breathing. So you can pretend that you have a mug, and I'm going to hold mine so you can see what we're doing. And we're going to take a few deep breaths through our nose to breathe in all the chocolatey goodness in our cup. All right, so we're going to breathe through our nose, but we also want to be pushing out our belly to take a really deep breath. So let's try that together. Ready? Good. And let's try again. Awesome. And then when we blow out, we're going to cool off the top of our hot cocoa so we can take a big sip. All right? So let's try breathing in together, and I'll count on one hand to 3. And then we'll hold it, and then blow out on the top of your cocoa for 3. Okay? Here we go. Very nice. Okay. Could you hear my belly? I'm already a little hungry for that cocoa. All right, so we're going to jump in today and focus on comparing. That's really going to be our big topic and big question is, can we compare numbers or objects? And if we can, how can we do that? So today I'm going to show you with some objects that I brought from home. You might have some of these in your house or your apartment, or you might not, and we'll just pretend with what I have, and then we'll talk about some more options at the end. So I really want to know, if I have two groups of objects, how can I tell if I have more or a greater number, or if I have less, or maybe they're the same? So let's explore. I love Beanie Babies, and I have two groups here. I have this group, and then I have the birthday bears. They're a little bit different. Now, when I'm looking at these two groups, I could count them, or I could use another strategy to see if I have a bigger number or a smaller number or the same, and we're actually going to try both. So let's start with the first strategy, which is counting. So I'll point to the bears, and you count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 8 in this group. Let's count the second group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fabulous. So now that we know we have 8 and 6, what happens next? Well, if you're really good with numbers, and I know some of you are because I heard someone yell out that 8 is bigger or greater than 6, and you are right, we have a second strategy that I really like to use. I'm more of a visual learner, which means I need to see something before it clicks in my brain and makes sense. So the second strategy we could use is actually matching up the bears or objects from each group. So this time I'm going to take one bear from this group and match it to one bear in this group and see what happens. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. Uh-oh. I ran out of birthday bears, but I still have some bears left for my first group. So what could that mean? Take a moment and think. Yeah, say that again. I think you're onto something. If I had more bears in this first group, if I have bears left over, then I had more in my first group. So if you saw the first strategy, which was counting, and you said that 8 was more than 6, you were exactly right. If you watched this strategy with matching and you said, hey, 8 is more than 6, you're exactly right. But I'm going to tell you something. We have special big-time math words that we use, and you've probably already heard this word before in your classroom. But we're going to try to practice using this word a little bit more today instead of the word more. We're going to use the word greater. So say that with me, greater. So if we wanted to use that in a math sentence about our bears today, we could say 8 bears is greater than 6 bears. Say that. 8 bears is greater than 6 bears. Very nice. You could use that with your teacher next year. You could use it with your friends, and you could even use it with someone in your house, and I bet they'd be pretty impressed. That's a big word. All right, so let's move our bears to the side, and we'll come back and talk about those. And we're going to jump into a video That's going to show us a way that we can compare other groups of objects, even some cute animals, and it's from the Kids Academy YouTube channel. They have awesome videos, and I'd love for you to check this one out with me.
Welcome to Kids Academy.
Hi guys, I'm Michael, and this is my friend Bolly. Bolly and I love to take a walk. During our walks, a lot of interesting things happen. Maybe today something fun will come up too. We need good weather for a walk. There are lots of clouds today. They cover the sun often. How many is lots? I don't know. The sky is so huge. It's hard to count them. And how many colorful dots do I have? It's hard to count them too. You jump very quickly. Well, then let's count these stones. They lie still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, they are alive. It's turtles. They are hungry. Let's pick a flower for each of them. Turtles love to eat flowers. Hey, tell us, how many flowers do we need to treat the turtles? 5, because there are 5 turtles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bolly, solve a problem. How many turtles stay on the shore and how many swim in the water? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 3 turtles lie in the grass and 2 turtles are in the water. Which number is larger? There are more turtles in the grass, so I think number 3 is larger than number 2. Number 2 is not the smallest. Number 1 is smaller. There's 1 frog and there are 2 turtles. They have more fun than the lonely frog. The frog wasn't bored for long. Now there's a whole crowd of frogs here. Right. Now there are more frogs than turtles in the stream. Because there are 4 frogs and only 2 turtles, number 4 is larger than number 2. And what if we compare all the turtles and all the frogs? Who will be more? There are more turtles. There are 5 of them, and there are just 4 frogs. Number 5 is larger. Oh, it's evening. It's time to go home. Tomorrow will bring a new day and new interesting stories. Bye, guys. See you soon.
Okay, wasn't that a cute video with Mike and Bolly? I love how they were comparing different groups of objects, just like we did with the bears, but they had turtles and frogs and some great ways to really talk about which group had more and which group had less. We'll talk a little bit about what happens to the group that's not more, but we'll do that next week. All right, so I have a couple more examples that I'd like to show you. So let's look here. Nope, that's not it. Just a second. There we go. Okay, so I have a couple examples that I've put together with more animals, and we're going to look at these groups and practice the 2 strategies we talked about a little bit ago. Do you remember what they were? Right, we can count and we can match. Now, when you're at home and you are just seeing this on your TV, it's kind of hard to match the way I did with the bears, where I took one from one group and one from another. So I'm going to show you that strategy first and how you could do this on paper when you practice in your packet. So I'm going to get a pen here, and let's practice first by matching. All right, so when I do that, I'm going to cross out one of our dogs and then one of the cats. And I'm going to be saying the numbers as I go, so you'll see what that looks like. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and the same thing happened as what happened with the bears. I have a couple dogs left that don't have a match over here with the cats. So what does that tell us? That the dogs is the greater group. Remember that word we practiced? Greater, that means more. So which group is greater? We would circle the group with the dogs. All right, let's try a couple more. All right, let's move that out of the way. Okay, which group is greater? This time let's use our counting strategy and then we'll check it with the matching. So count with me as we count the turtles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 turtles. Let's try the fish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I already heard someone at home yell out that they knew that once we got past 8 with the fish, there were more fish because we kept counting on. And you're exactly right. But if we didn't know that, and if you're like me and really need to see that matching strategy, let's go ahead and do that. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, and here's what's left over. So those of you at home who said we had more fish, you're exactly right. So we would circle that group because the fish is the greater group. Remember, we're practicing that word greater. Let's try another example. Ooh, snakes and mice. All right. Let's go ahead and use our matching strategy this time. If you're at home and you'd like to count instead, you're welcome to do that. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Whoops, that didn't show up, did it? There was my 4. 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, and what do we have left? We have this group of mice left, which tells us that the group of mice is greater. Now, what happens when we switch away from the cute animals and jump into something that you might have already seen in the classroom, such as counters? And I also brought my button box today because buttons are a great way to practice math, and they kind of look like our counters. So we'll talk about these at the very end. But what if we switch to something like counters? Does it still work the same way? So which group is greater? The bluish-green buttons or the purple? So this time we'll start with counting, and then we'll check with matching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So which group do you think is greater, just by counting? Very good. I heard a lot of you say this group because it gets up to 10, and this group we stopped at 8. We could go ahead and try our matching. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. And you were right. We have a couple left over here, so this group is greater. Now, this is my favorite part. Those counters are great, except they're all over the place, which is why the matching strategy is helpful because we can mark those out as we go so I know which ones I've counted. But I bet you've seen this before. And if you know what it is, yell it out. And you're right, it's a tin frame. And we know that a tin frame is a frame of 10. So just by looking at these two, very quickly I can tell that the group on the right is greater or more because it has the entire tin frame filled. But just to make sure, let's go through and match. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. This tin frame has 2 empty spaces, whereas this one still has 2 dots, so this is our greater group. Let's try one more with some animals and jump into some practice. All right, this time let's count the birds, and let's use our matching strategy. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. Well, what happened there? Which group is greater? Which group is more, the red birds or the blue birds? Yeah, you're right, they're the same. So when we see a group that has the same number of birds, which would be 6, on both sides, we say that it's equal. The two groups are equal, which means the same. So now we have 2 math words that you've probably already heard, but there are big-time math words when we're comparing. We have greater, which means more, and we have equal, which means the same. All right. Let's look at these 2 groups and decide if they're equal, meaning the same. So we're going to go back to our counting strategy, and let's count the groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 14 of our little lizards or geckos. And let's try the hamsters on the wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Are the 2 groups equal? Yes, 14 has the same value as 14, so they are equal. So when we have 2 groups that are equal, we can just circle both groups, and you'll see that in your packet. All right, let's try another one. Let's look at the bunnies and hedgehogs, porcupines. They're cute. All right, this time let's do matching. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. I don't have any more bunnies or any more of our second animal, so they are equal. So I would circle them. Okay? Now, last example, let's use our dots again. So we take away the cute animals and we're left with just counters and see if these 2 groups are equal or the same. This time, let's just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, I heard that I stopped at 7 here. I'm already at 7, but I'm going to have one more 8. So were these groups equal? No. So I would show that by just putting a big X through the 2 groups. All right, great job. Now I forgot I had one more example with a tin frame. This is so much easier to see than just the scattered dots. This is a very quick check because we can see visually that they're lined up nicely. And what do you notice about the 2 tin frames? Yeah, they're missing 1 dot in each of the boxes. So are the 2 groups equal? Yes, and we could count them to check or use our matching strategy, but I think you're getting the hang of it. So let's do a quick check. When we're doing our lessons this summer, anytime you see on your TV that we have this picture right here, this means you have the same activity in your packet. So on page 1, day 1, it tells you that we're going to circle the set of objects that shows the greater amount. I'm just going to work a couple of these with you, and then you'll have time on your own where you can continue in the packet. So let's look at A. We have scissors and pencils. Let's use the matching strategy. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9. And you might have the same thing I have at home, which would be there's a pencil left over, which means which group is greater? the group of pencils, so we would circle that one. I'm going to give you a few seconds on your own to try B with the soccer balls and the footballs. So you can go ahead and do the counting or the matching, and then we'll check it together. I'm going to be working while you work at home. Okay. You can finish up. I used the counting strategy that time, and you might have used matching, but did you get the same answer? That the footballs would be the greater group. So if we put that in a math sentence, we would say the group of footballs is greater than the group of soccer balls. All right. Your packet continues and has C and D. We're going to pause, and I'm going to pause on our packet. I'm going to let you finish that on your own after the video. You can show someone in your home how you're doing, and then you can use this to check and see, am I getting it, or do I need a little bit of help? All right? So the next thing that we could do, and this is really fun for at home, and I brought some objects to show you, is building a greater group. This is super easy, and I think it's a lot of fun. So to build a greater group, we are going to look at how many we already have. For this, I want to go ahead and count them. So do that with me, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, you're probably already thinking of a number that is bigger or greater than 6, and you'd be correct. But for the activity today, we just want to go one more greater. Like if we were counting to 6, like what we have, let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What comes next? 7. I want to focus on just one more greater for my greater group. And then I'm going to draw that many objects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be equal. And adding 1, 7 makes a larger group or a greater group. You'll see another example here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So let's draw an equal set, and then we'll make it a greater set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And to make it greater, we're just going to go on one more, and that would be 12. Now, you don't have these in your packet necessarily where you are adding counters, but what you do have are socks, or cars, or cereal, or cotton balls, or bears, or any kind of toy that you have at home that you can practice making a group and making a greater group. At the end of your packet, you have a page that looks like this. It's page 19 in your packet, and you have 2 circles. So we're going to turn this sideways. What you could do is practice putting some objects. So I'm just going to use my cars here. I'm going to put 3 cars in my first circle, and now I'm going to try to come up with a greater group or a group of more to put in this circle. So I could use matching or counting, and I'm going to take some more cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see if I can get a 5th one in there. 5. Is this group greater than the group I started with? We can check by matching. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and yes, I have cars left over. So that's a simple way. You could also make your circles out of hula hoops. You could go outside onto the pavement and do chalk circles and draw objects. Or you could have someone in your household grab a handful of cereal, put it in the first group, and then you create a greater group here at the end. All right, so let's review what we talked about today. When we compare objects, such as our Beanie Babies, or our cars, or frogs and turtles like we saw on the Kids Academy YouTube channel, we can look at the 2 groups and we can either count or match to see which group has more and is the greater group. Say greater with me one more time. Greater. Good job. All right, so today, so you get credit, your code word is Lucy. That is L-U-C-Y. And make sure that you use that word so you can get credit for watching today. Thank you for joining me. I am so excited to be on this math journey with you, and I will see you tomorrow when we talk about what happens to the other group that wasn't the greater group. Thanks so much.